Hi everybody, thanks for joining us for another unwrapping unboxing video. Today we're unboxing the Jetson LX10 Ride On. It's not really an e-bike because it doesn't have a chain, it doesn't have pedals. It does have a throttle and it's full electric. It's supposed to go 15.5 miles an hour, so we'll see when we get out on the road with it. The packaging was pretty interesting on this one because it's like a Russian nesting doll. It's a box within a box. And I guess that's meant to absorb any shocks if the box gets thrown around. And it made sense because once you look inside, there's no styrofoam. There's just some very soft foam pieces holding everything together. So I was concerned that there wasn't enough protection, but there was very little damage on the bike. There was some damage on the bell, which really I don't care about, but I'll highlight it later on in the video. I opened the little box and of course the charging brick is inside. It's a 1.5 amp charging brick. Also the seat pegs or the foot pegs were included in that little box. I decided to speed up the video on the unwrapping process just because I realized nobody wants to watch me do this in real time. You see, I just put the handlebar in place. There's a little quick release for the handlebar that folds down. And next I'm gonna try to just continue taking things off. There was a little cap for the seat post, threw that back in the box. Next I'm undoing the seat from the frame because they come attached in shipment. There we go. Even though there was no styrofoam holding it, again, I don't think there was any damage on the bike and looks good to me. I'm actually happy with that because I didn't have the little tiny bits of styrofoam all over my garage after I opened it up. You can see here when I put the seat post down all the way, it didn't go quite all the way down because the seat post is a little long for the frame. The only reason I care about this is I want my son to eventually be able to ride it. He's about 44 inches tall currently, and we think he's entering a growth spurt. So in a little bit, he'll be able to ride it all by himself. Next, I'm attaching the foot pegs. And initially I started putting them in by hand and I realized the threads it was threading correctly. I was threading it in correctly, but there was just getting a lot of resistance towards the end. So I decided to just take an adjustable wrench and spin it on. And I realized I should have just done that from the beginning because it's a lot faster. And then I flip it around and I put the other peg on. What's funny is I realized that the piece holding the pegs together goes all the way across the bike. So as I'm spinning one peg, it wasn't actually threading in, it was just spinning on the other side. So I ended up reaching over with my hand, as you see, and I held the peg on one side so that it would continue to thread in. It's important to make sure that you're not messing up the threads in this process. So at least in the first few turns, I was really careful to make sure that the pegs were threading in correctly. Next, I'm doing a little quick cleanup. Gotta get all the crap out of the way. So that was pretty painless. It was pretty good. Next, I test out the bell and watch this. What the heck? It sounds terrible, right? And then I close up on the bell and it's all dented up. It's all dinged up. There's no way that bell can ring freely. So I tossed it. Next, I'm just going through a quick close-up of some of the pieces on the bike. Everything looks really nice, actually. For $299, I think this looks really nice. Even the light is pretty bright. I did go outside in the dark briefly with it, and for the speeds we're getting on this bike, I don't think it'll be a problem. It's definitely bright enough. And that button is the light button on the right hand side. And next I'm going to try the brakes. You can see the brakes don't make the light blink or anything like that, but the intensity of the backlight does go up. It shines brighter when your brake is on. There's a reflector on the sides. Actually, it's a pretty nice look. I do want to point out that the bike isn't red. They advertise it as a red color, but I would call this an orange. It's like a red out of an Easter Bunny's book, because this is definitely not red. It's more of like a pastel, dark orange, I would say. I wanted to get the blue one, but my son really wanted red. And then I think he kind of saw this and he went, ooh, it's not really red.
It's not too high for you?
Next, I had him sit on it. My son's about 46 inches tall, and he can't quite touch the bottom with the seat post all the way down as it is. I was pretty nervous about letting him ride it.
That's right, huh?
I feel like it could go a bit lower because it's not really the bike length of the real one back there.
So next, I tried sitting on it just to see how the lowest setting was. And dude, it is so cramped. I'm about 5'10", and I have no desire to ride this thing. It's way too small. It's freaking crazy. I don't know how adults could actually fathom riding it because it doesn't feel safe at all to me. It reminds me of kind of like a mini bike, but maybe even smaller than a mini bike. I had a Honda Mini Trail many years ago, and this feels even more cramped than that. So next, I'm just showing you the mechanism that folds the handlebar down. It's a nice looking quick release. It looks pretty well built too. Pretty happy with that, but because it's such an odd shape, it doesn't really fold down really compact, but it'll be good enough to throw in the trunk of a car for sure. And it has that nice thud, you know, it makes a nice sound, nice click when you close it up. Here I go, I went on quick little 2 short rides in the garage. Next, I decided to cut the seat post down just about an inch so I can get it all the way down for my son. So I have a cheap pike cutter from Harbor Freight for years, and I decided to cut the seat post. I just took an inch off of it. By the way, the seat post is a really soft steel. It was really easy to cut this one. Yep, there it goes. And next I put the seat post back in. And as you can see, I was able to slide it all the way down this time. And then I had my son sit on it again. And you can see that little inch made a big difference for him already. Is it too scary?
Yep. It goes really, really fast.
We had a little accident in the garage, so he's kind of scared to ride it, but you can see now that he can touch his toes on the ground, and that's pretty much all he needs.
And I'll never push the start button because it's a motor.
That's my son.
It goes too fast.
With this next growth spurt, I think he'll be able to ride it no problem, so I'm really excited for him. It'll be fun when we go camping.
A little bit slower.
Anyways, thank you for watching.
Push it too much.
I hope you subscribe and join us. Bye.